and a man survives being locked in an ice coffin for over an hour.
He has his whole body in here, and he's in absolutely no distress.
It's Wim Hof, and they call me the Iceman. I do all kinds of challenges in the cold. I got about 17 world records. One is ice endurance. The other is I hiked on Mount Everest in shorts, swimming under ice, stuff like that.
Extremes of cold can be very dangerous. Heart rate can slow down. You can see fluctuations in blood pressure. And people have neurologic effects. They get progressively confused and can actually wind up in a coma.
So how does Wim's body tolerate the freezing cold? Wim claims that he is able to control his body's temperature so that it never drops in the first place.
We'd actually like to see how he can regulate his temperature, or if he actually can.
So the team will put Wim to the test again, only this time they'll use heat. Theoretically, if Wim is able to warm his body up in a cold environment, he might be able to cool it down in a hot one.
Can you tell us what you're building and what this is?
This is an infrared sauna. It's going to be different than a regular sauna. So what would take a regular sauna 2 to 3 hours to raise your core body temperature, this can do in minutes.
What do we think our ETA is on getting this up and ready?
Guys, let's roll.
With the laboratory prepped, our team is ready to begin. This is Wim's first time in a high heat experiment, so not even he knows what to expect.
I'm curious how much his physiologic response is going to vary. Reacting to heat and trying to cool yourself down is a totally different mechanism.
Wim Hof is exposed to temperatures of up to 145 degrees Fahrenheit.
So Wim's been in there 5 minutes now. His body temperature's like a rock.
Exactly the same.
Solid 98.5. It's really not changing very much. And let's check the skin galvanic response on him.
The graph indicates that Wim's body is producing more sweat than normal.
Can't see the sweat now pouring off. I guess he's going to be very wet when we finally get him out of there.
I would think it's hard to lower your body temperature without sweating. All right, we're at 15 minutes now, Dave, and we see that heart rate, what it's always been.
Hasn't budged.
No, and he's breathing just slower than before he started.
I find this amazing.
So Wim was really having a phenomenal reaction. He got into the sauna. His vital signs were rock stable. I mean, it was almost a negligible response.
Despite the sharp increase in temperature around him, Wim maintains his body's temperature at 98.5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wim, how are you? How you feeling?
Okay.
You're sweating quite a bit now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Wim, so now that you've gotten out of the sauna, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good. I'm sweating right now, but inside I got the same control as when I'm immersed in the ice.
It's true. I mean, your body temperature barely changed.
Have you ever seen anyone be able to control their temperature to that extent?
No, I mean, I really haven't.
Wim seems to be able to regulate his body temperature. But our experts still need to figure out how he does it. Normally, the body's temperature controls operate autonomously, buried deep inside the brain's hypothalamus and locked off to the conscious mind. It's possible that Wim has found a way to bypass this mental barrier and regulate his autonomous nervous system. To find out, our team needs to observe Wim's feet in our lab. They connect temperature sensors to Wim's chest, fingertips, and armpit.
Something is falling up. We really need a headband out here. Yeah.
Additionally, our experts will monitor his breathing and heart rate.
So you're sitting right next to our ice tank right now. In a minute, we're going to have you step inside, and we're going to watch what happens to your temperature.
I'm ready. I just want to go in.
So Wim's been in there just for a minute or two, and, you know, he's looking pretty focused right now. This EKG is supposed to be monitoring his pulse, but you notice all the squiggly artifact.
Yep.
It's probably because he's shivering. Shivering is one of the ways we can make heat. With shivering, your muscles are moving. It's not that efficient because it just radiates out into the environment.
I see.
It should be impossible for Wim to have enough energy stored to shiver his way through the ice bath.
Wow, now it's been 20 minutes, and you look at these rates. We know his core temperature really hasn't changed at all. Dr. Jen, this is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's been very stable, just like we saw with the sauna experiment.
How you doing, Wim?
Okay?
Very good.
Controlling.
Very good, yeah. Concentrate.
Yeah, as you can see, it just shows signs of focus, really. And as you noticed, Dave, when you even put your hand into the ice,
It's
it
cold.
became cold and painful.
Absolutely.
Now, he's has his whole body in here, and he's in absolutely no distress.
So how long has it been now, Dave, that Wim's been in there?
We're up to an hour and 12 minutes or so. We're right at the limit of what he can, I think, actually deal with.
Incredibly, Wim is still maintaining a temperature of 97.6 degrees Fahrenheit, well within a normal, safe range.
How are you feeling, Wim?
In the beginning, there was like a confrontation, adaptation. Then there was a steady going.
Right.
But I want a hot shower now.
Wow.
All right.
Unbelievable.
You seem almost euphoric. How do you feel?
Good.
Not numb?
No.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
Okay.
He comes out exhilarated, in a very good mood. He's very pumped up.
I call it cold high.
I think it's fascinating. There is a level of cognitive control that he's exerting over his own body that a typical person simply could not do.
What we've seen with Wim is that when he does this demonstration, he gets completely relaxed.
Although Wim's body relaxes, it's his intense mental focus that enables him to combat the cold. Wim says he uses an Eastern meditation technique called Tumo, which was developed by Tibetan monks.
Tumo is the practice of visualization with respiratory exercise. It's going interior. Once you go interior, you can produce heat, control the immune system, the nervous system, the heart, and by the mind. Yeah, it's all possible.
We do not know for sure all the physiologic mechanisms in what enables Wim to do what he does.
But after watching Wim perform his feat with meditation, our team neurologist believes she knows how Wim's meditation works.
There's really two ways to generate heat. One is shivering. The other option is what's called non-shivering thermogenesis. This comes from brown fat. So brown fat, we used to think was only in infants and small mammals. We're starting to understand that people do have brown fat around their spinal column and their shoulder blades. When the fat breaks down, instead of producing energy molecules, it turns that fat breakdown directly into heat. So I'm guessing he can actually activate the brown fat that's there.
But Dr. Frontera's hypothesis is only one possible explanation of Wim's incredible and dangerous feat.
I'm not endangering myself, exceeding these limits in the cold, because I trust the cold. I trust it with my life.